Hey everybody, Margot Lavette here. Well, kind of just jumped on here, didn't invite anybody, decided this afternoon I have something that I want to share with you. And it's talking about sugar and cinnamon and salt and pepper. What does that have to do with podcasting? Well, this thought came from a conversation that I had today with a couple of people. And bear with me here. Sugar, cinnamon, salt, pepper, they all are spices and we use them globally. We all use some type of spice globally, no matter what your dietary choice is. And choice is the operative word, whatever paleo, carnivore, vegetarian, we all have our favorite spices that we use. So I'm thinking since we all use spice, and some spices are germane to certain nationalities, then what does that have to do with podcasting? It has a lot. We go hand in glove because when we look at the stats, hang with me now, hang with me. When we look at the stats, there are 38, 383.7 million people that listen to podcasts globally. That's a lot of people. When we look at that number, those are all people with their own personalities, with their own wants, with their own needs, with their own passions, with their own expectations. That's a whole lot of individuals and they have their preferences. So when it comes to a podcast, there are 2 million podcasts that are registered through Apple. But when it looks at how many are active, they've put out something new in the last 90 days. There's about 500,000 of those podcasts that exist. So when we look at how many people are listening globally and how many podcasts are out there, how does one find out of all those people, how do they find you? And then the aha moment came, the light bulb went off. We as podcasters, we are the spice to our content. Yes, think about it. Think about it. Think with me now. We are the spice to our content. Everybody's talking about global warming. Everybody's talking about inflation. Everybody's talking about some form of wellness or fitness. Everybody's talking about, yeah, podcasting, one level or another. Everybody's talking about the same thing. But what makes the difference? You. And this, I guess, this thought is really set up for those who are thinking about becoming a podcaster, or those of us who are podcasters at these very different levels. We are the spice, we are the energy, we are the passion, we are that extra oomph that nobody else can bring to that subject matter. So it doesn't matter that everybody's talking about this and that. Guess what? They're not talking about it like you can. I noticed that there are quite a few people that are telling their story, their reinvention stories. I tell mine all the time. Does that phase me? Not at all. No, because my story is my story. And the way I set it up, it comes from the depths of my experience, the essence of my being. And I strive to put out each and every episode coming from the depth of my soul, be it interviewing someone or sharing information. Someone brought up to my attention, you always speak with your hands. I never even thought about that, but I do. I get caught up in the moment and my hands just get going. That's it. They say, girl, your passion over spills. Sometimes it gets you to coughing. They right. And I got to get a drink of water like I have to do right now. But some of these things are what happens to me when I talk about podcasting or when I come on live or I'm just when I'm in this space sometimes, so everybody knows, hey, she might get a cough in there, and won't edit it out. And she'll speak with her hands and she'll get all excited and she'll get all fangirly, but she will get to the root of the core of the subject. She will ask those hard questions and she will have fun while she's doing it. That's just some of the spice that I bring to my podcast. So, sugar, cinnamon, it all depends. What are you using your podcast for? What are you listening to a podcast for? Because there's when we talk about sugar, there's turbinado sugar, there's cane sugar. We talk about cinnamon, there's Vietnamese cinnamon. And my goodness, when we talk about salt, Himalayan salt. And keep in mind, everybody doesn't even use Himalayan salt. Some people don't put any salt at all. That's not their season of choice. And then when we talk about pepper, my goodness, how many times do we find a blend of pepper, something that has garlic or onion blended in? So, as podcasters, we blend content with who we are, how we are, and we put in that extra spice of our personality. We are not we are not ashamed of how we are, who we are. If you break some verbs or whatever, you have a message to get out there. You have content that you want to get out to people. And that's all that matters. So, what does a podcaster? I hope you understand now what I'm getting at. Sugar and cinnamon, whatever spice you want to use, cilantro, herb. Let's throw some herbs in there also. Well, let's just throw everything in that kicks up content. If we're cooking chicken, we're going to go ahead and garnish it with lemon and cilantro or whatever. If we're making cookies, we're going to sprinkle some sugar on top, or we're going to put some cinnamon on top. We're doing baked sweet potatoes, we're going to put some cinnamon in there. And guess what? Don't we always want to follow mama's recipe or grandma's recipe? That's fine because they unlock the key to putting together certain spices. And as a podcaster, that's what we do. We put these spices together in our content, and each and every week, every month, whenever we put out a podcast, it is our thing to make sure that you recognize what we're putting out, you're familiar with it, and that it is what you want to have before your eyes and in your ears. That's what podcasting has to do with spices, seasoning, herbs. So sometimes people they get, what's the proper wording? I don't want to just belittle anybody. I'd never do that. But sometimes people, it's time for them to get their message out and they just don't do so because they don't know how they're going to appear. Someone else is doing it in a grand and fabulous way. And I oftentimes hear, I don't like my voice. I don't like the way that I look. I don't know what to say. I'm not even sure that anybody's going to listen to me. But you know what? Cooks will tell you, unless you are a stop down, born to cook, anointed, I sure am supposed to be cooking all the time, every day. It takes practice to be a podcaster, to be a cook, to satisfy your family, to satisfy the masses. It takes practice, and you'll never get there. You'll never find your secret blend of spices. What works for you and what works for your audience, you'll never find it if you don't start podcasting. Now, I don't say go out and get yourself a mic and plug it in and boom, it's off to the races. I think that is just being That's not fair to you, and it's not fair to your audience. It's not fair to how you are trying to present yourself to the world. So, if you decide that you want to understand the basics of podcasting, how to put your podcast together, then on October the 15th, I can teach you in 2 hours. Yeah, I have worksheets together. Now you have to consult the worksheets. You have to work with the worksheets before the workshop. This is not a webinar, this is a workshop. So you bring your workshop worksheets and we get together. We'll take probably 5 minutes to get some water and go to the bathroom, and then we're digging right back in. This is a workshop. You interested? You want to take your podcast into the new year? You want to take an understanding of what herbs and spices, what blend do you bring to your message that you want to bring before your audience? What blend, what herbs and spices and seasonings do you bring to the podcast that is going to be attached to your business? These are things that you ask yourself. If you're interested and you want to get down to the basics and understand how to put your puzzle pieces together, then DM me or go over to my website. No, DM me here or go over to media at gobeyondtheinterview.com. Media at gobeyondtheinterview.com. Let me know you want to be a class, you want to be part of that class, and we will take it from there. October the 15th, 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time, we're going to do an intensive 2 hour workshop. You're going to be able to put the pieces of the puzzle together concerning your podcast. Maybe, just maybe, you want a total understanding about what a podcast is, how it can work for you. Maybe you're not ready to put the pieces together, but you want working knowledge. You'll come away with that also. All right. DM me or be sure to go and leave a message. Email me at media, media, at go beyond the interview.com, because you have some sugar, you have some cinnamon, you have some salt, and you have some pepper that you can add to content that is burning inside of you. Okay? We like to eat and we want good seasoned food. So feed the masses with your message and bring yourself into what you're bringing to us. That's what I have for you. If you're catching this on the hashtag replay, please be sure to leave your comments. I want to hear from you. All right. And I promise, I will answer each and every comment. And next time I get on here, then maybe this weekend, then I will be sure to, if you have a question, then I'll be sure to answer it. All right. Let's go ahead and get busy. Let's get our voices heard. Let's put our spices together with our content. All right. I will speak with you later. Oh, I forgot the music. I got so ready to go ahead and get started with this. I forgot the music. I bought new music, you guys. I don't play around with this. You know? So, that- isn't that nice? I got to say goodbye right now, though. All right. I will remember the music next time I come on. And I'm not sure about what the subject will be. I have so many thoughts twirling and swirling around in my head. But I'll do another live stream at least by next week. All right. I want to hear from you. Let's think together. That's what this is all about. It's very organic, as you can see, as you can tell, but let's think together. And thinking together means your comments, you commenting. All right. I'm Margot Levette. I am the CEO of Go Beyond the Interview.com. We are a LLC, and we believe in getting exposure, media for people. All right. So I will speak with you later. Bye bye.